Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. This is part 2 in the series of the SVI 728 for Stephen that we're doing, and in this one I am trying to find out what's going on with this power board. I have talked to Stephen over the last few days and he said none of the bodges on the board heated, so it was obviously on here before he got it, and the person didn't say anything about there being any bodges done to it or any alterations or anything. So the plot thickens. So anyway, we're talking and I put the board on the bench. And this is where it gets interesting. So, grab yourself a drink, some snacks if you want them, and that comfy chair, and let's get on with it. Right guys, we're back into the Spectra Video 728 MSX1. Now this is the power supply that's been giving us the issues. As I said, all the bodge wires have been taken off. I've had a look over the schematics and it's pretty straightforward. But I plugged it in to a known good Spectra Video power supply, powered it on, and everything seemed to be okay. And I thought, well, I'll check the voltages on the regulators. And next minute, this lid was on here. There was wafts of smoke coming out of this. And so I turned it off immediately and I thought that's not great, and I smelled around it and it smelled like there was burning in here. And so I had a look and I put me 3 times glasses, magnifying glasses on, and had a look around, and I couldn't really see anything until I actually turned the board up on its edge, and this transistor here, that one, has actually split in it, and why it's done that I have no idea. So what I've done is I've just desoldered and popped the 3 power connections that are going to the board, to this, off, and that way there's no more damage is going to be done. I'm going to have to take this off and change that transistor anyway, but I thought I will do that to stop any further damage happening to this, and then check what's going on with this power supply. So I did that, then I powered this back on, and it's not happy, to say the least. Our minus 12 volt regulator here, I'm getting -7. The 5 and 12 volt plus rails over here, I'm getting nothing whatsoever. So I've checked the diodes, and the diodes seem to be okay. That, we'll put it this way, they are working for the regulators. This is for the bridge rectifier, and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong there. So I'm picking it somewhere else on the board. There can't be a lot, because in the schematics for the power supply, there's not a lot in these that can go wrong. So the only thing I can think of is it could be the regulators may have an issue, or it could be one of the caps, but these did seem to be fine. I don't know. I'll have to pull the schematics up again, and I've actually got the board layout schematics. The problem I have is a lot of the technical data for these machines only went up to a certain board version. Then after that, there were later boards, but there's nothing on them. There's probably some release notes somewhere. I've not come across them. If anybody has anything, this is a version 1.4 board. The one I have is up to 1.3. So, and as I say, looking at this, it looks like there's some things have been changed on it. That, as I say, it's had a transistor put where there was a resistor. So I don't know if that was manufacturing done or something else. I don't know. And I can't find any information on it at this stage. But anyway, I am now going to go down the track of I'm going to print out the circuit diagrams that I need, just so I do have a copy that I can use on the bench, and when I can track the traces I can mark it on that. And I generally use highlighter pens, which are a little bit like these markers here, but they're the highlighter, and you get them in different colours. That one's a pink one, and you get greens and yellows and light blues and all myriad of different colours. But that's what I use on the printouts of the schematics, so I can make sure I know what I've checked and where I've checked and if it's okay or not. So guys, I will do that. I will print all that stuff off, and then I'll be back with you, and we're gonna go through what's going on with this. Sorry I didn't tape that first part of this for you. I was actually just talking to Stephen on Messenger, and he was talking about stuff, and I thought, oh, while I'm at it, I might as well just fire this up and check. I was just going to check the voltages on it, and that's when all this started, and that's like, oh, okay, this is actually a lot more wrong with it than I think. So anyway, the problem we have with this is that this is a video and power supply board. It's a little bit like the Dragon 32 had, which is a power and video board in one, but this is a lot more complicated because it's got the video encoder chip and stuff like that on it. So it's a little bit more involved than that, but along similar sort of lines. So anyway, I'm going to print the circuit diagram out of this, and then we'll carry on from there. Alright guys, I'll see you shortly. Okay guys, so I've got the printouts that I need, and that's just the power supply. That was a smaller version. I decided to blow it up so it's easier for me to see. And then I did myself one with, that's got the video circuit in it as well, and then that's the bottom of the board. But as I said, this one is a version 1.3 schematic, whereas the board I have in the 728 is a 1.4, not the 1.3, and that's the component side of it. So yeah, so we can go through and sort all that out. And as I say, with this I like to colour the traces as I'm doing it, so I know what I've checked and what works and what is working. So there's a few little things in here we need to look at. There's the op-amp in here, which may be an issue, and that's the regulator there, which I've tested all the diodes and they all seem to be fine. But I'm going to go through this and check it all off to find out where we are, and then once we get all these voltages going, I'm going to pop this off. As I say, I've taken these legs out. I've just got to desolder the earthing lugs that are on here, pop this off, and then change that transistor. So I will get on with this, and we'll have a look and see what's what. Alrighty. Sorry, what I've done is I've just switched it to DC, and I want to see what I'm getting across here on the DC rail. See, that's going to be dropped down to 5 volts, and that's coming in quite... okay. Yeah, because we got the regulators there, which are the 4 diodes. This is the 12 volt side, which comes in, which is actually 16 volts AC. It feels like there's a little bit of heat coming off this somewhere. I can just feel it, just like a warmth in the air. But yeah. But anyway, what I will do is let's see what we've got anything down here, shall we? So that's about 1 volt. Well, that's 18.9. It's minus 7. That's 0. That's 18 volts. So I don't know what's going on here. There's something not right. That voltage is coming. There's something going on. So that should be, I'm thinking that's meant to be 12 volts. That's minus 10, minus 9, minus 8. That's dropping. That should not be doing that. And these are the SW wires, and what they are, I don't know. Oh, it might be that, actually. Yes, I do. I think that's the switch that goes through to the cartridge port. So that when you put a cartridge in the machine, it tells it to put the power through to the cartridge rather than just to the board. I'm pretty sure that's what that will be. I need to have a look on the schematic for that. I'll turn this off for now because it seems to be getting warm and there's no drawer on it, so it shouldn't be getting warm. So there is something wrong with the components on that power supply by the looks of it. Now, until we have a look at that. That's from component side, so... Well, that's V ground. That's V ground. Are we the right way? Yep. No, that's the white ones. So that's SW. And that's SW. That one is ground. That one goes somewhere else. So I'm not sure. That should be our 12 volts, so there's nothing on that. That should be our 5 volts plus. That should be our 12 volts plus. That's our ground. And that's our V ground. So ground is okay, but then we're getting the weird voltages across here. I just want to take another check on those to see what we're getting. I'll grab a pen and we can write that down. Let me get a pen. Okay, so what I'll do, we'll set that back on. And let's see what we're getting out of these. So we take ground as ground, so that should be fine. So any ground should do, which should be here. And then we're not using that one, so that's a V ground. We're not using that, so this is the one we're using as ground. The next one should be 12 volts. And that's 1.3. Then the next one should be 5 volts, which is sitting at 19. The next one is at minus 10 and drops away. The next one should be ground for the switch, which it is. And the next one will be the other one for the switch, which is sitting at 18.7. So that looks like it's a 5-volt switch, but it's very, very close. And what was that? I don't know what V ground is. V ground was nothing, yeah. Yeah, same voltages. Right, so that's what we got coming in. So there is definitely something wrong in the circuit, because we have 12 volts, we have damn near nothing. And on the others, we have the wrong voltages. Okay, so our 12 volt power supply comes in through that and that. So we could have an issue in here with the Zener, or one of the electrolytics, or we could have one of the transistors may have gone on us, and it's causing this to play up. Let's have a look on the regulators to see what we've got where. So what have we got on? Well, that's ground. So what do we have here? That's 18 volts. And what do we have here? Moving 3, 4. I wonder if that regulator's a bit dodgy then. And this is a minus, so we go the other way. Alright, nothing there. We're getting nothing out of the negative regulator. Okay. So we've got another one, which is just down here. It's on 9 volts. That's got nothing on it. That's sitting on 9. Okay, things are not very happy. I think what I'm going to have to do is I might have to pop these regulators out, I think, and just double check those. So what we've got here. Turn that back on. The voltages are bled off really fast. I mean, there seems to be like there's nothing in them now. There's something not right here somewhere. It's not those two regulators that are getting hot. They're not getting hot at all. See if I can find something that's warm. Okay guys, I think I'm going to have to do a bit of investigative work here, and I'll have to get my component tester out, I think. I mean, I can check the diodes, but they're not always going to check properly in circuit. So, see the 9 volts coming in, sorry. So we have 9 volts coming in here through the 9 volts AC, which is coming from the switch, which goes through these first 4 diodes, which is working as a bridge rectifier. And then from there we go through C91, which is this capacitor here, which is our smoothing capacitor. And then from there we go to T10, which is T7, T12, T8, T6, T1, T2, I don't see T10. T11, T9, oh, T10, sorry. Okay, so they're not using a 5-volt regulator here. They're using a transistor for T10. Okay, and that's T5, which is that one. Okay. Right, that could be that transistor. That's why I wasn't picking up the voltages off here, because that's switching. That'll be a transistor that's biased to switch from T6, which is over here. Okay. And that's meant to give us our 12.5 out of the 7.4. Where are we? Down here. Yeah, out of our 7.4. So, out of pins 2, 3, and 7. Okay, so out of 2, 3, and 7. So 2 should have 5 volts on it. 3 should have 12 volts on it. And 7 should have 12 volts plus on it. Sorry, my pen's dying. I'll have to get another one. That one's dying on me. But what we can do is switch it on and do a quick check on those and see what voltages we're getting out of that op amp. So we'll try that and see what we get. So we're going from here, pin 1, and what ground? So we'll pick up a ground over here. We want pins 2, pin 1, pin 2. That's sitting at 18 volts. 3 should be 12 volts, which is nothing. And 7, 4, 5, 6, 7 should be 12 volts, and there's nothing. Okay, so we're getting, just do that again. So we're pin 1, pin 2's got 18.5, 18.5, pin 3 it's got 0, and pin 7 it's got 0. I'll just check the other pins. So what have we got on pin 1? Got nothing on pin 1. Got nothing on pin 4. Nothing on 5. Nothing on 6. Nothing on 8. Okay, so everything else is saying 0. That could be our fault. So that could be where our problem lies. But then saying that, the regulators come in and we go to 10. So we're getting 18 volts from the regulators to the in on the transistor. And the transistor is switching because we've got the same voltage out. So that's saying it's got 18 volts coming out of it, and it should only be 5. Definitely got an issue here somewhere. I wonder if that's short. Okay. So that should only be 5 volts, so Okay, that looks like a diode. It's high. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, that's... So that I think is fine. So why are we getting that sort of a voltage? Yeah. So what we'll do, I will pop that out, and we should be getting, I'll stick this onto AC. Now I know unloaded these will be a little bit high. Well, that's our 9 volt rail, which is fine. That's coming out at about 8.3. That's not that. This is our 12 volt rail, which is 14 volts, which is also fine. So those, well, it's a little low. It should be about 16 volts, but 14 is still okay. We can work with that. So the voltages out of here are fine. What is going wrong? So, I mean, from here it goes to the switch, from the switch to the diodes. So that is where we need to look next, I think. And so our first two, so be our AC coming in on where our 9 volts will be these two, will be the two closer together. So one from here, the other one goes over to there. So that's from the switch to that one. So that's ground, which that one will also be ground. So let me check, so that one and that one. Okay, so I'm just making sure I've got everything all. Just make sure everything is actually connecting, eh? That does not bode very well. Why are we... So that come down here through the switch to here and here. Then that one should go to there and there. So that'll be ground on this side. That should be power on that side. Okay. Right. Sorry guys, just trying to get this schematic, this circuit in my head right. So then if we're going from here, that'll be ground. That should be the 5 volt rail. Do we have some dodgy diodes here or something? Don't think regulated that should be... That's jumping between 9 and 18. I wonder if we've got some... I wonder if we've got some wacky diodes in here. I don't think that should be anywhere near 18. Is that, yeah. So we're going through that transistor, that capacitor, and from that capacitor, that's the other capacitor, but before that, we go to the transistor, which is over here. But going from there to there, how are we getting there? There's only a single-sided board. Alright guys, this is confusing me. As I say, this is for a version 1.3. This is a 1.4. I don't know what's the difference between them. It's a long way for this to come, considering down here. Because I mean, we come through. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. We're over to here, but it's. Okay, we're over to here to this transistor. Okay, so that's one of the leads in. The other one, and it's also got to go to that one. This is so confusing. Alright, I am going to switch that off. And I'm going to have to sit down and try and meter all this out so I know what's going on. Alright guys, but there's definitely something not right with this. Definitely. That we have across that 18 volts. I don't think is right. There's actually two capacitors there. That one in, and then those two there. 16 volt and a filtering capacitor. Yeah, there's something not 100% right here. That's probably the little filtering capacitor down there, C27. Probably is 27. I just can't see it from the bum of that one. But that's that one, and then it says it's the 5 volts out. I don't know. Something is not right. Something is not right. Alright guys, I will see what I can find out here, and then I will get back to you, and we will see what the problem is. Well guys, what do you think of that? It looks like somebody has been playing at trying to fix this thing, and I think they've had problems with it before. The weird thing is I'm wondering if those bodges are because of what they've done. And Stephen was saying it was working before he did what he did and changed the cartridge slot on the main board, but then the power supply stopped working. So I'll have to have a look into this and see why it's doing what it's doing. I will inevitably get back to you. So guys, as I always say, have a great day, have a great week, and until next time, ciao.